Welcome. I'm your host, Robert Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Hypno Acuity, presenting 7 ways I blasted out of self-help fallacies. I blasted out of self-help, personal growth, self-improvement, psychology because I awakened to understand when somebody from self-help, self-improvement, personal growth think they think outside of the box, it's a fallacy because you think inside the box. What I really understand most is they never let me out of the past. When I was doing it, they kept me in the past. I was always trying to heal this, forgive this. They never talked about pure liberation, sovereign expansion, politically incorrect inspiration that dissolves politically correct perfection programming, cowboy wisdom, outlaw optimism, and an FOF that audacity. Because they always are trying to keep you. You had one foot in the past and one foot in the present moment on a banana peel, going to slide back into it. What I really opened up to this is it never got away from the education system. The education is a great foundation, but it's a limitation as everything you think and know is from yesterday. But I really opened to understand is you can never ever think outside of the box of whatever you've been, because thinking and knowing are representations from what other people wanted you to know. And something else I really understand, they never allowed you to liberate yourself from your opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs, because that's what they say. They talk beliefs. Well, beliefs have an embedded subconscious representation that keeps you stuck in it. So when you really want to rise to your out of it, you got to let go and communicate away your opinions, your viewpoints, beliefs, and admit to your whatever your parents were going through when you was 5 years old, because that's all embedded in your subconscious mind. And what I really awakened to is liberation is a free way to rise above it. Because when liberation is listening internally, boldly, enterprising, rebellious, adventurous, trend setting, innovative, optimistic, nirvana. Because self help, personal growth, and self improvement, to me, when I was listening to it, I quit listening in 2009. It never allowed me to get to present moment, because forgive this. And when you want to rise out of forgiveness, appreciate yourself. The appreciation for yourself will allow you to get the value. And really what it does is diminishes all the mini movies of the event. And that's the thing about self-help, personal growth, self-improvement, is they never allowed the mini movies of yesterday to just dissolve. And as if you open up to your panorama movie of now, you naturally optimize the wisdom to experience your life in a bold way. And I'm really not here trying to say anything bad about self-help. It just never did anything for me, because if you listen, they want you to set goals, but they always keep you looking in the past. Well, the past doesn't exist, only on paper. When it comes to your past, it's a subconscious representation of now. And you really, really want to rise out of that by questioning yourself. And as I opened up to this, and I unpunctuated my writings. I never edit my videos because life is unrehearsed and unedited experiences. Life isn't going to say, well, you can hit the stop button now and we'll back it up and do it over. There's no do-overs. There's just awakenings. And see, that's something it always talks about. It never talks about. That's what Cowboy Wisdom Hypno Acuity talks about, is awakenings and accomplishments. Take all the garbage, take all the words that keep you in yesterday. I threw away change, heal, create, transformation, forgiveness, think, know, learn, knowledge, thoughts, because they never let the mini movies of yesterday just pass on out of your life. Because when you're open to changing your life, that mini movie is active and forgiveness and all that. The mini movies are still active and they're controlling you. Change is a thinking memory mind bind. But if you let go of change and open up to expand, to understand, expand is grand, a galvanized, rebellious, adventurous nerve, dawning a new way of life. And see, it keeps you inside the education because I've watched this since 1997. Self-help, personal growth, self-improvement, and psychology all is just an extension of the education system. Then you throw in the enslaving business mindset you stay the same. And something I've opened up to is we have a third world enslaving mindset from the business world because of the person that wrote the curriculum for the business world. And it really is very prevalent now as I listen to it and witness it. See, that's something else you want to listen and witness and feel your life rise within yourself. Give yourself permission to rise onto that mountaintop of magic. Just witness your life with an open ended energy. Because life is free flowing energy. And that is something I really opened up to. Life is a free flowing energy. That's my inspiration, innovation, imagination, images of my dreams or desired lifestyle. And your sleek, unique talents is all flowing energy. And you'll never think and know and listen at the same time. As soon as you say think, that shuts off all free flowing energy within yourself. I've said that on several things, and as you listen to what they say, they're wanting you to say, they keep you from looking for what's wrong in life. There's nothing wrong. Life is an awakening. You admit you encompass challenge, you appreciate the challenge, you awaken to it, and then you rise out of it. You ascend out of it. AZZEND, zend out of it. Because we're the only ones holding this back in our own lives. And, something I really opened up to is the outside world's innocent. If I'm having chaos out there, it's in here. If I'm having uncertainty and unsavory things going on out there, it's in here. See, this is an external safari, but an inner voyage to your own vibrant optimism. Yazza jazzes your adventurous gumption to expand on life. We stay in the limitations of our thinking, knowing mind. And the education system is inexperienced everything because when we was younger in a beginning country, we had farming. Everybody was on the farm and doing things, and we all stemmed from it. Now we're all in the city, and we don't have that farmer's experience. And one thing I got to say about farming and ranching, you're introduced to your own wisdom because when you're out there, you're herding cows or you're farming, you got to be alert to watch what's going on with the machinery. And I want to tell you about cultivating corn. Corn, on the first time, you're going about 1 to 2 mile an hour, maybe 3 on a half a mile road, half a mile round. We call it a half a mile long. By the time you're halfway through there, your eyes are getting droopy, and if you swing out, well, you take the corn out. And that's the way life is, and you really see where you messed up. But more importantly, it's the other people that see it, like the boss or the owner or my uncle. They remind you that you wiped out a bunch of corn. But what I'm saying is, you had to cultivate it to get it to grow, and you went slow. And cultivating is just moving the dirt around to cover up the weeds and take the weeds out. And that's what we're doing now. With liberation, you're cultivating the weeds of need out of yourself. And something I've really opened up to is liberation. When you open up to liberation, you let go of that, but you're letting go of the mini movies of yesterday and innovating your panorama movie of now to experience your life in living color. See, you're the fashion designer of your life, but you're never going to think and know and design your life at the same time. You can listen to the intuition to stream your innovative wizardry through you and then design your life. If this world is so stuck in our ancestors' way of life. We've put men on the moon. We can do everything. We got technology. But there's a lot of the world still living in the traditions and the old ways of our ancestors. And when is it time to start cutting away or remodeling the traditions and everything in life? But that's what I really opened up to. 2009, I discovered that self-help and all the stuff they was doing was taking me nowhere. So that's when I discovered my liberating lingo of expand, energize, enterprise, and experience. And what that does is it shuts off the mini movies of change, heal, create, and transformation. Them mini movies control you. And then you got to throw the inner dialogue, because that's controlling the inner dialogue. And then when, the inner dialogue gets adverse with you and you start arguing with yourself, that is where life really begins, is with that inner dialogue. You start communicating with it and start saying no to it, because you got to say no to yourself before you can say yes to the world, or to no to the world even. But it's really about allowing yourself to listen to your free-flowing, enterprising spirit, prowess, heart prowess, soul savvy, sovereign valor, inspirations, innovations, and the images of your dreams and your imagination to color your world in a bold, bright way. But we're so caught up in trying to think and know, and that's where I really got bestowed into yesterday. You think in yesterday, but from yesterday. All knowledge is in a book. Knowledge is great, but knowledge lacks the wisdom, because it hasn't got hands-on stuff going on. So that's really what it is. And everybody says, oh, when you was a kid and somebody said dreams, well, dreams are crazy and foolish. You can't do that. We've been told we can't do things more times than we're told we can do things. So all you got to do is open up and tell yourself, I'm going to ride the tides to my promised land, because you encompass the grit, get, and go. But when people are telling you have things wrong with you and they know what's going wrong, that's a fallacy. They have an idea, but they don't, because their wisdom, their way is unique to them, but your way is unique to you. They may have some insight and give you a way, but when somebody's telling you what to do, you're putting their limitations in your life. They may be putting a little knowledge in there, but they're putting their viewpoints, opinions, and limitations in your life. That's something I really opened up to, is never listen for what expands you and energizes you, and stop being controlled by outside sources. When you follow somebody's program verbatim, it looks good on the outside, but inside you're deepening your insecurities, because you become afraid to step forward in your own abilities. That's something I noticed. When somebody tells me they have a deal for me, the other way. But something about self-help, self-improvement, and personal growth is that's their viewpoints and opinions. Their viewpoints and opinions may never flow with your dreams and your desired lifestyle. That's why I let go of the fallacies of self-help, because it's about being liberated and expressing my inspirations, innovation, intuition, because your intuition is natural to you. Theirs is artificial to you. That's like the AI, all the artificial intelligence. Well, somewhere along the line, somewhere along the line, they'll probably steal people's innovative ideas, because they're going to so they rely on that instead of their own talents. I don't use AI because I want mine unique to me so I can express it to the world. That's why I unpunctuated my writings, my self help personal growth writings, because I want people to have to discover themselves. Then I write them in rhymes and open ended so people have to read, have to witness it and listen to it and expand their own life. If you read my writings out loud, you'll gain a lot of stuff from it. And see, the images of your dream is present moment clairvoyant clarity on your third eye movie screen. But we're so busy trying to do what other people do, we never really get in and understand who we are. And once you rise out of this and you rise out of the thinking outside of the box to float in your liminal carpet glide, you rise above the world and you'll see the world has really been staying the same in a lot of ways. But when you rise to your liberated wisdom, you start listening for the clarity of your desired outcome. You're unique to you, and your talents are really unique to you, and they will really rise you out of it. As I instantly hearkened my individualist wisdom and insight to understand and esteem my sleek, unique, trailblazing talent, chauffeur me to my pioneering paradises, realizing and admire. I liberated me from inside in the box thinking, knowing to rocket onto my paths of liberation. How does that feel? Paths of liberation. Feels good. It feels relaxing. So I realized I can never think outside of the box because thinking is a box in education and ancestor survival mode enslaving mindsets. And something else, business and education will never rise the world any further than it is because business and education has never had the people skills that it takes everybody. And business, where are we at? Business education been doing this since the 80s. Look at the world. Yes, some people are going forward, some people are going backwards. But here's the thing. Life is a people business. And you can all go to this, but nobody's rising right now except for a few, but are we really rising? And something I want people to understand, it's your talents. You were invited to this earth to raise it to peace and prosperity, not to be stuck in what other people think you should do. When you want to rise to your intuition, you listen. Listen for the streaming intuition of the universe to energize your innovative wizardry. That's why I rose out of the self-help, personal growth, self-improvement. I do liberation. Liberation, sovereign expansion, politically incorrect inspiration, because I desire people to be able to communicate their wisdom to the world and listen to rise out of themselves and to get onto their own pathways of prosperity and peace. Anyway, I want to thank you. I am Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity. My website's mycowboywisdom.com and my email's robert@mycowboywisdom.com.